A very good morning, students. This is your English teacher Belu Sehrawat and I welcome you all to RKP online classes. So we'll continue with the same topic, that is clauses. So in our last video we have already learnt about the first two types of clauses, that is main clause and subordinate clause. Okay, so these two types we discussed in our last video. So I hope you all remember that what is a clause, right? So clause is subject plus verb. Alright, so a clause is a group of words which has its own subject and a finite verb, right? And main clause is when the group of words, okay, which can stand on its own independently, okay, which the group of words, the clause which doesn't need anybody else's help to give complete sense. On the contrary, okay, subordinate clause is, which is also known as a dependent clause, okay, it cannot stand on its own, alright, and it does not give us complete sense, and for that thing to give complete sense, it needs help of a main clause. Alright, so now I want to talk about the third type, that is coordinate clause. Alright, coordinate clause. Now coordinate clause is, again, it is a group of words which has its subject and its predicate, or we can say it has its own finite verb. So we can define it like this: when there are two clauses in a sentence, okay, when we have two clauses in a sentence, okay, which are of equal importance, okay, the both the clauses, they are of equal importance, alright, and the most important thing here is that they are joined by a conjunction. And what kind of conjunction? Coordinating conjunction, okay, so that is called coordinate clause. Let me give you a few examples so that you can understand it in a much better way. For example, I can say, my mother gave me the permission but I didn't go for the movie. Now beta, if you see here, there are two clauses, okay, there are two clauses. My mother gave me the permission, okay, so this one is clause 1, okay, and I didn't go for the movie. This is our second clause, alright, and if you see, both the clauses, they are equally important, okay. Now if you see here, this clause, it can also stand on its own, and the second one as well. It doesn't need help of the first one. So they both are equally important. And the most important thing which makes it a coordinate clause, that is, it is, both the clauses, they are joined by a coordinating conjunction. Okay, so but is our conjunction. Understood? Alright, let me write one more example here. He opened the jar and took out a few candies. Alright, so beta, this sentence, again, there are two clauses here, right? He opened the jar. Okay, so this is our clause 1, right? He opened the jar and took out a few candies. This is clause 2, and it is joined by the conjunction and. Alright, so we see here that it is a coordinate clause, right? Because we see both the clauses are of equal importance and they are joined by a coordinating conjunction, that is and. Okay, so this is our coordinate clause. Okay, so I hope you have, so far you have understood what is what are the different types of clauses. Okay, that is main clause, which is also known as a principal clause or independent clause. Okay, second is subordinate clause, okay, which is also known as dependent clause. Okay, because it is dependent upon the main clause to give complete sense, right? And third is the coordinate clause. Okay, and after this we will talk about the subordinate clause. Okay, subordinate clause, which is further divided into 3 parts. Okay, subordinate clause. So I hope till here the things are clear to you. All right. Alright students, so now we'll talk about subordinate clause. Okay, subordinate clause. Subordinate clause, which is a dependent clause. Okay, this is dependent clause. This is further divided into 3 parts. Okay, this is further divided into 3 parts. First is noun clause. Okay, noun clause. Second is adjective clause. And third is adverb. Adverb clause. Now beta, see, you must have got the idea that if it is a noun clause, if its name is noun clause, that means it is a clause which acts as a noun in the sentence. Okay, which acts as a noun in the sentence. Okay, so this acts as a noun Alright? And it always answers us in what? Okay? In a sentence, if there is a noun clause and you question what, the answer that you will get will be our noun clause. Okay? So now next is adjective clause. Now again, this is a clause, a group of words, a clause which acts as an adjective in the sentence. Okay? So it acts as an adjective. Alright? So basically it modifies or it gives us more information about the noun which is present there in the main clause. Okay? So it describes the noun present in the main clause. And the third one is adverb clause. We know what is an adverb. Okay? So an adverb is which modifies a verb, adjective or another adverb. So this clause functions as an adverb. Okay? This clause acts as an adverb. Alright? So these are the three clauses, okay, which are part of subordinate clause. Okay? And all these are dependent clause. Alright? So beta, first we will talk about noun clause. Okay? So I have already told you that noun clause works as a noun in the sentence. Okay? It is the clause, it is a dependent clause which works as a noun in the sentence. Okay? And it always answers us what? Okay? It always answers us, it gives us the answer for what? Okay? Now suppose if there is a sentence and you ask the question what, the answer that you will get in that question, for that question, that will be our noun clause. Okay? So we know that it's a dependent clause. So beta, it may start with that. Okay? Let me write here. It may, let me find out my red marker. It's okay. Alright. It may start with that or who or how or what or whatever. Alright, so there are many more. Okay, so basically the clause which gives us the answer of what, alright, and it acts as a noun, alright, that is called a noun clause. So taking help of a few sentences, we will try to see how a noun clause is used in a sentence. Okay, now first sentence is, I fear that I shall fail. Okay, I fear that I shall fail. Now beta, I fear what? Okay, what is my fear? What is my fear? Can you get the answer? Do you get the answer here? What is my fear? That I shall fail. That is my fear. Okay, so in for the question what, we get the answer that I shall fail. Okay, and if you see here, I fear something. right? And in answer of that something, we get this whole clause. Okay, so this is our noun clause. All right. Now, second is, I do not know what he wants. Okay, I do not know what he wants. Now, what is that thing which I don't know? What is that thing? What he wants. This is the thing that I do not know. You're getting my point? This is the thing that I do not know. Okay? Oh, let me write. I missed this word here. I do not know. I do not know what he wants. So, beta, you see here, from what till wants. What he wants is our noun clause. Okay? And in all the clauses, beta, you see here, notice these two clauses. See, this is the main clause, I fear, right? Do you understand it? I fear. This is a complete, this makes complete sense and it stands on its own, alone. So that means it is an independent clause. This is the main clause here. And that I shall fail to make complete sense. Okay? This part of this is a clause, right? And to make complete sense, to give complete sense, it needs help of the main clause. Okay? We get the complete sense that I shall fail. I mean, of course, we get to know that there is something that I shall fail, but to understand the whole thing, to understand the meaning of this thing, we need to read the main clause. Okay? So this is how you need to identify the main clause and the dependent clause. Okay? So this is the main clause and this is the subordinate clause. Okay? The same way here, I do not know. I do not know is the main clause. What he wants is the dependent noun clause. Alright? Okay. Next sentence is, he does not know how to do it. Okay? So, he does not know. What is that? Something which he doesn't know. What is that thing? How to do this. How to do this. Now, beta, if you see here, this is the main clause. He does not know. Okay? And how to do this is the subordinate clause. Okay? And he does not know how to do this. That means it is a noun clause. Dependent noun clause. Alright? I think you have made a mistake. Okay? I think you have made a mistake. Now, beta, I have purposely taken this sentence. Now, why? Because sometimes that is hidden. Okay? Like if you see here, I fear that I shall fail. Here we have used that, but here it is there. I mean, it is implied. Implied means it is understood that it is here, but we have not written it. Okay? But it is understood that it is there. Okay? So, don't get confused that word is not being used here. That is not used here. So, is it a clause or not? No. So, I think you have made a mistake. So, here, I think. Okay? I think is the main clause and you have made a mistake. Here, that is understood that you have made mistake. Okay, that is understood here, that you have made a mistake. So which makes it a dependent noun clause. Alright, now next is she believes whatever I say. Okay, now she believes, this is the main clause. Alright, she believes is the main clause here, and she believes what? Whatever I say. Okay, so this is our main clause here, and whatever I say is the dependent noun clause. Alright beta, so I hope you have understood what exactly a noun clause is and how it is used in the sentences with the main clauses. Okay, and do not forget that it always gives us answer for what. Okay, if you get the answer when you question what, then the answer that you get will be your noun clause in the sentence. So beta, the sentences I have written on board, with the help of these sentences we'll try to understand that a noun clause, it can work as a subject also, right, as an object also, and an object to a preposition as well. Alright, so let's have a look at the sentences. Now, whatever she spoke was inaudible. Alright, whatever she spoke was inaudible. That means whatever she spoke was, it could not be heard. Okay, now what was inaudible? Whatever she spoke. Okay, so this is the thing which was inaudible, right? So this is our noun clause, right? So this is the subject to the verb was. Okay, so this is the subject and this is a noun clause. So we can see here that how a noun clause works as a subject in the sentence. Alright, so now next sentence, I don't know where she lives. Now I don't know something. Okay, and what is that something? Where she lives. Alright, so I don't know what? Where she lives. So if we see here, I don't know something, so this is the whole clause, right? This is the noun clause and it is an object to the verb know. Okay, I don't know where she lives. So here this is the noun clause as subject. Alright, and here it is the noun clause working as an object to the noun, to the, yes, noun clause as an object, okay, to the verb. Now our next sentence is pay attention to what I am going to say. Now pay attention to something. Okay, pay attention to something, and what is that something? What I am going to say. What I am going to say. Now if you see here beta, this is the main clause, right? This is the main clause. This is our preposition. This is our preposition, and what I am going to say is the object to the preposition. Okay, this is the object to preposition. Alright beta, so I hope you have understood that noun clause can function, it has different functions, right? So and you must have understood that how it works as a subject, as an object, and here it is acting as the object to a preposition. Okay, so these are the functions of noun clauses. Okay.